Hi guys, my name is Ademi and I'm a freelance fashion illustrator, but I like to call myself a self-employed artist based in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm 24 years old and I currently make at least 7 figures monthly from my fashion illustration business. Last year, I had asked my viewers on YouTube to let me know what questions they have about fashion illustration, as I'll be answering them this year once I hit 2,000 subs. And we did hit 2,000 subs, which is why I'm making this video now. I also asked my followers on Instagram as well. I have compiled all the questions into chapters, so let's get right into it. This is my iPad where I've written out all the questions and I've grouped them. I'm just going to be reading it out and I'll also type it out on the screen so you don't have to worry about you not getting the question right. The first question is, how do you know you're not undercharging yourself? It took me a while because I did a lot of trials and error when it comes to pricing with my clients. I realized that I was undercharging myself when I reached out to another illustrator asking them how much they charge for their illustration. And by the time I heard the price, I think I was charging like 10k, 8k, and they were charging around 15k, 20k. So when I reached out to the illustrator and I was like, please, can I know how much to charge? I'm currently struggling on how to charge my clients for my illustrations, and the person was very open. They told me how much exactly they were charging. They even sent me their rate card. Actually, they sent me their full rate card. So that is one thing. You need to research the market. You need to reach out to your colleagues that are doing the same thing to know exactly how much they charge, and you adjust your prices accordingly. These people have to be people that they've been in the business like for long, so you can actually feel like you're getting the best advice. You can also calculate your hourly rate depending on your working hours. I personally don't recommend that to people because I'm quite fast at illustrating. Charging hourly doesn't work for me because I'm too fast. That would be working against me, right? Because there are some illustrations that other people would take 2 hours, 3 hours to make, and I'll get it done in 1 hour. So I do not recommend hourly charge. But if that's what you feel like, yes, you can do that. In Nigeria, it's actually quite hard to charge per hour. I don't know, I could be wrong, but that's what I know. The last way to know if you're undercharging is when the client is eager to pay without negotiation. Like Nigerians, we all know Nigerians like to negotiate. So if they're not negotiating with you, just know that something is up. Because a client would want to negotiate for better prices, especially if they are doing a lot of illustrations. Let's say, for instance, you're charging 10,000 naira and the market value, like what other people are charging, is around like 20k. And they reach out to you and they tell you, hi, I want to make this illustration. You send your rate card and they were like, okay, send your account details. Sister, check yourself. You might be undercharging. Recently, a client reached out to me for a couple illustration and they asked me how much I was charging for that particular service, and I told them what it was. And they were like, they reached out to somebody else and that person is charging lower than that. Can I please reduce the price to that person's level? That they really like my work. And I was like, you're considering my work instead of the other person that gave you a cheaper price. That means there is more value there. Like, if you don't think it's that good, you're not going to even think of negotiating with me in the first place. So that is one thing I want to let you know. That person might be charging exactly at their level skill. That's another thing. You need to charge at your level skill. Like, you don't want to be average and then be charging what the pros are charging. You don't want to do that because that would actually like chase your client away. You want to charge at a competitive range, then over deliver. That way you're going to keep your clients happy and coming back. So the next question is, how much should one charge as a freelancer when you're just getting started on commissions? I think I already touched on this briefly. Let's say like everybody that you know that they are very good, like their skills are very, very good. They're charging their illustration at 20,000 naira. And you know that you're just starting out and you think your work is good, but maybe not as good as those people yet. You can charge like 10k or 15k, depending on how much time you're also spending on your art. So this is not like, I'm not telling you charge 10k, or I'm not telling you that's the exact price to charge. I'm just saying that know what the pros are charging and then charge accordingly. Another question says, how much were you able to earn during school and service year? Well. When I was in school, my first ivory job, my salary was 100,000 naira. But for the first 6 months, I was paid 50,000 naira. because COVID happened. Like, I was supposed to be on probation for like 3 months, and then COVID happened, and they kept on saying, since you're not really coming to work, you're working from home. They kept on giving me that 50k, then later they increased it to 80k, even increasing the workload. Yeah, but we're not getting into that. I was getting 80k monthly for my first hybrid job, and I worked there for 2 years. And my second hybrid job, the one at the fashion house, I was getting paid 150,000 naira monthly. And during my service year, I was working completely freelance. I never actually documented how much I was earning, but I knew I was doing okay because I was spending all of them. That was so bad of me, but yeah. The next question says, how much do you earn per every illustration? It depends actually, because I have more than one service that I render for clients, but generally, like, each illustration should be, like a fashion illustration should be around 25 to 35,000 naira. And the next question says, do you really live off your income from fashion illustration? Yes, girl. Yes, fashion illustration paid for all this. I live alone. I started living alone in 2023. Fashion illustration paid for everything. My iPad, fashion illustration bought it. I'm telling you, like, I never even could imagine that this would be something today. Like, I never would have imagined that this would be something that would be making me like good money. So, but yeah, it is. So, and I'm happy and I'm grateful to God. Thank you. So the next question says, how do I maintain a good working relationship with clients? This one is tricky, because I want to say be friendly, but not too friendly. Yeah, like be friendly, keep it professional. Like, I struggled when I first started. I struggled with being professional, to be very honest. Like, I was very respectful, but not like, I didn't know the right ways to address people. Be polite, check up on them. If there are any seasonal like holiday or anything, you can send them a general message. Hi ma'am, I'm just checking in on you. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. All those kind of stuff. Just keep it simple. The next question is, how do you find clients or agents? I would like to say that, first of all, I have been lucky in a way. Yeah, I would say lucky in a way, in the sense that I don't necessarily like promote much, because I get majority of my clients on Instagram, and some of them are from referrals, which is why I always tell you that, like, charge normal price, then over deliver, so these people can actually like you, and you know, the word of mouth is very powerful, so they can talk about you everywhere, and people will reach out to you, referrals here and there. So that is how I actually get my clients. I don't even do promotions a lot on Instagram. Like, in my entire career, which is like 7 or 8 years now, I've promoted my page up to like, let's say like 5-6 times. Yeah, so I don't really do much promotion, but I let my work speak for me. I upload on Instagram, not frequently, but I upload very high quality illustrations and make sure that I'm tagging the right people. Like, if I want a particular brand to see something, I'm gonna make sure I tag them. Those are the ways that I actually let people notice me on Instagram. So the next question is, what are your career goals or dreams? What would you define as the height of success? Guys, this question is getting deep. It's getting deep. My career goals and dreams. Do you know what, guys? I feel like I'm still working on it. I am going to be very truthful. I'm not going to say I have everything figured out right now. I'm still working on it. That is all I can say. Even the height of success, I don't know. I've not really thought about it deeply. Right now, I'm just focused on making as much money as I can, because I feel like when you have money, then dreams can be easily achieved. Why don't I just focus on making money right now, and then I can start thinking of what's the next thing, save up as much as I can and start thinking what is the next thing. But for now, I'm gonna leave that question unanswered. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So the next question is, can you talk about your creative process? My creative process is quite simple. The first thing I do when I get a client's work, or maybe I'm working on a project, the first thing I do is to make research and gather inspiration, because you can't do anything without having inspiration. Even when clients reach out to me for designs or anything, I always have them send me something like a visual representation of what they are saying, so I can fully understand and then make my own research. Then the next thing I do is to start sketching the rough ideas and all. Like, I make the rough sketch, send to the client. Once I send it to the client, once they approve, or if they have more corrections, they can let me know. I make the corrections and I send back to them for feedback once again. Once they approve the last time, I'm getting ready to like start painting and rendering fabrics. And yeah, that's basically, once I render the fabric, I send it to them for one final confirmation. Once they've confirmed, I send it to them as a PDF file. Any other alteration that is coming after that is going to be paid for, like extra charge. So basically that is how I work. I hope that answers the question. The next question is, can you talk about signing a contract and contract mistakes for beginners? Well, you know what they say, when you get the contract, you read it from beginning to the end, like from top to bottom. You read every single word, you don't skip anything, because you don't want to miss a clause that would actually cost you everything. The most popular type of contract that we have in the fashion industry is more of is an NDA, non-disclosure, whereby they tell you that you cannot post a fashion illustration, or you cannot upload or just talk to people about it. Like, there's this brand that I work for, and while we were working on the collection, the first time I was going to work for them, I had to sign an NDA, and they let me know that I cannot even talk to my friends about it. I can't even talk to my boyfriend. Obviously we're just joking, but like, you know, you get it. They're not like joking, but you don't say it everywhere, because you've signed a non-disclosure agreement. Anything apart from non-disclosure agreement, do not sign. There was this clause that was in one of the contracts that I've signed previously. It was a non-competitive something, but basically what it meant that after I leave the company for the next 2 years, I cannot start a similar brand to theirs. I had no plans to start a brand that was similar to theirs, so I did not really think that was an issue. But guys, you never know what you want to do in the future. I would not advise you sign that kind of contract, because I mean, 2 years, what if you already have all the ideas and that is really what you want to do? You're not going to let that clause be holding you back. So you have to be very careful of the kind of contract that you're signing. The next question is, what advice do you have for someone putting themselves out there? I don't even know where to start from. I'm gonna keep it short because I have a video coming up after this video, and I think that would totally have like a perfect answer for this question. Imagine nobody cares about you and just do you. What you need to ask yourself is, why do you want to put yourself out there? Like, literally, why? I already filmed my next video, so I said this in my next video. I said that I felt like my personality was not matching my goals. Like, the things I wanted to do, my personality was not aligning with it. And there is a reason. That was because I was scared to put myself out there. But my goals, the goals I want to achieve, there is no way I'm going to achieve it if I don't put myself out there. I'm going to leave it there for now. Yes. So watch my next video if you want to have like a full-on answer on that question. Watch my next video. So the next question is, what techniques can one use and how does one get commissions? I don't really understand what you mean by what techniques can one use, but if it's about fashion illustration, I mean, there are different ways to get into fashion illustration. You can be a manual fashion illustrator, which is the pencil and paper, like markers and all. You can be a digital fashion illustrator, which is this one that I'm doing. You can also do a 3D modeling fashion illustration. That one is also popular as well. So these are all types of fashion illustrations. I think that should be what you mean by techniques. And how does one get commission? Basically, you promote yourself. You promote yourself on Instagram. You promote yourself on LinkedIn. You promote yourself on YouTube, on TikTok, everywhere. Like, you just have to be out there to actually let people know that this is what you do. And you can also pitch to brands, although I would not say it is the best way to land jobs, especially in this fashion industry. If you're a fashion illustrator and you are reaching out to brands yourself, you're pitching out to brands, like, the brands would already automatically see you as beggy. I'm sorry. But it is like that sometimes, and like, not all brands are like that. I promise you, not all brands are like that. But there are some brands that they are still living in the old times, and they already see you that, oh, this one is pitching, that means she does not have work, so let us use her. And we don't want that to happen to us. We want to get paid for the amount of work that we're putting into this art. Okay, so the next question is tips on creating different croquis poses. If you do not know what a croquis is a fashion figure that we draw before we draw the clothes on it. So how to draw different croquis, you just need to go on Pinterest, find your references, and practice. And you can also watch YouTube videos. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to draw different poses, so you can check that out. The next question is, what are the best and affordable gadgets to start your fashion illustration journey? Well, if you're on a lower budget, like you don't want to spend too much, I would say that you can start with your smartphone. Like, yes, you can start with your smartphone, and if your phone comes with a pen, like maybe Samsung, you know, some Samsungs do have pens. The first device that I used for drawing was a Samsung Note 2. He has a pen like underneath somewhere around here that you just bring out. I don't know if Samsung still makes those kind of phones, but yeah, you can do that. And the app that you're going to be using is called Infinite Painter. A lot of people have this misconception that you cannot start with your smartphone, and that's so wrong. You can actually start with your smartphone. All you need to do is to get the right teacher, or you watch YouTube videos online. So, shameful plug here, I'm currently running a class. If you'll be interested, let me know. If you're a beginner, you can use your smartphone, or you get an iPad or a Samsung tablet. And if you're an advanced illustrator, you will be needing an iPad. So if you want to join my class, I'll be leaving the link in the description box, so you can just hit me up. I'm your girl. Okay, if you have a higher budget, then you can now go for an iPad. There are different type of iPad, but this is iPad Pro, 12.9 inches, and it has a pen on the side. Like, the pen is actually sold separately. The Apple Pencil is sold separately, so you might need to make your research on the prices. There are other type of iPads as well. We have the, let me just bring this out for you completely so you see what the back and the front looks like. We have the iPad Air, iPad Pro, and iPad Mini. This is the iPad Pro. I think the light is going to be reflecting on this, but that's fine. So this is what it looks like. It's wider. This is the biggest screen of iPad that you can get. Yeah, so that's it. If you're not going for the digital route, you can get a sketchbook, just a simple book and pencil, and you can just like make your sketches like that, and you can get pencil colors as well. The next question is, how can I make digital sketches on an Android phone that does not come with a pen? So that is what I said. You can use your smartphone. You can either use your Android or iPhone. All you need to do is to get an external stylus pen, and I think that retails for about 15 to 25,000 naira. I don't know, you might need to ask your gadget vendor, but you just need to get a separate pencil that works with your phone. And the app that you're going to be using is Infinite Painter. I don't know if I've said that before. So if you're using an iPad, the app you'll be using is Procreate. What is the name of your tab and pencil? Like I said, this is iPad Pro. I think this is the 6th gen. It's not even the latest one. This is 6th gen, and it's 128 gigabytes. And I use the Apple Pencil. This is the 2nd gen pencil. The next one says, what YouTube pages would you recommend for digital illustration? So here is the thing. I did not learn digital illustration on YouTube. I just used the idea that I've learned from manual illustration and then turn it into digital. Because I believe that if you can do manual illustration, then you should be able to do digital illustration. All you have to do is to just learn the interface of the app. So the people that I will recommend you learn from are Zoe Hong and F Sketcher. I'm going to leave their link below as well. The next question I have here is, do you teach? Yes, I teach. Moving on to the next category. From what age range can you teach people to illustrate like you? Well, I would say 12. I would say 10 to 12. Like, the next question is, who are the people you sell to, and are they mostly fashion designers? It depends on what I'm selling. Like, I sell different things. I make fashion illustrations for designers, for brands. Maybe they just want to use it as a picture, I don't know, like ads. Yeah, I've done one thing for Mardo one time, whereby they asked me to do like a fashion illustration using their brand colors. I make book covers for authors as well. I work with fashion designers, those that actually come up with their own designs, like the real fashion designers. I just help them illustrate their work as well. And I also design for fashion designers. Does that make sense? I also design for fashion designers. And who else and for couples as well. I make couple fashion illustrations, couple illustrations for their banners. Like, you know, those wedding banners that have maybe like a drawing of the couple. Yeah, I do that as well. Or maybe there's a celebrant that wants a picture drawn. Those are the things I do. So the industry is quite like diverse, so you can work with different kind of brands. Actually, like if it's like commercial, editorial, you can actually work with editorial brands as well, like magazines and all. For print, like some of your illustrations can be used as can be printed on t-shirts, can be printed on tote bag, all those kind of things. So it is quite like broad, to say the least. The next question is it all fashion designers that require an illustration? Well, not really. When I first started fashion illustration, it was not really popular back then, and people do not really care. So here is the process, especially when it comes to fashion illustration. Here is the major process. A bride, or let's say a client, has a design in her mind that she wants to make. She already has a fabric. Then she take a fabric to the fashion designer or tailors, and those tailors, she's not trying to explain what she wants for that tailor, and that tailor is trying her best to understand, but everything is word of mouth. Like, you cannot really understand. It's like there's no visual representation. That is where we come in as fashion illustrators. So what we are doing is bridging the gap between the client and the designer. It could be the client that will hire you personally, or it could be the fashion designer that will hire you personally. So it is left to you to now pick who you want to work for. Like, some people prefer to work for fashion designers, while some people prefer to work one-on-one with the clients themselves. So we are going to make the illustration of what the clients like, and we send it to the clients. The clients would like it. In fact, she's already, just with our sketch, she can already envision what she's going to get from the tailor or the designer. She already knows that she's getting the best just from the illustration that we send. So the next question is, when and where did you learn video editing? This is a bit off topic, but I'll answer that. I learned video editing on YouTube. Like, I kind of learned on the go. Like, the moment I started posting on YouTube, that was when I started learning video editing, and I just got better like with time. I use CapCut and Vlo app to do my editing. So, and I just, Vlo app has a lot of tutorials here on YouTube, and CapCut also has a lot of tutorials here on YouTube, so you can check them out. The next question says, how did you balance school and service with earning from illustration? Well, I think I already answered this in one of my previous videos when I was telling my story. I just took extra classes. Like, I took tutorials from a fellow classmate so that I'm not like behind in class. So that was basically what I did, and I managed my time more. When I was in school, I did not have a lot of like extracurricular activities. Like, maybe I was not really like social. It was like from school, home, school, home, school, home. So once I get home, I know that I'm working. Once I'm in school, I try my best, I focus in class, but once I'm home, I work, even all through the night. Like, sometimes I sleep around 1, 2. Yeah, that was the grind back then. So here is the question I realized that I never actually answered. How do your own personal designs not get stolen or plagiarized? Well, I have this new thing that I do right now, that I have my copyright claim. I put my copyright claim underneath on my caption, especially when I post on Instagram, and I have my lawyer. So if anybody actually like copy the designs, there'll be a little bit of action. There's gonna be a little bit of action. But you know one thing about Nigerians, like, they would not copy for word. Like, they're gonna like switch it, they're gonna mix it up. So yeah, I mean, if they're still mixing it up, that's fine, and I can see that they took the inspiration from me, that's fine. But then the truth is that nothing is really original. I think once you make peace with that, even big fashion designers get copied. Once you make peace with that, well, life is not that hard. But the real people would actually reach out to you and buy that design from you, or ask for your permission. I recently had a client reach out to me asking if she could buy some of the designs that I made in 2018. I'm not even exaggerating. Was it 2018? Yeah, either 2018 or 2019. She bought it off me actually, and it has been on my page since 2019 or 2018. I can't remember. and she actually paid for it, and it is still up on my page. The only thing is that I'm giving her exclusivity, right? Like, I'm not going to be selling it to any other person. I'm not going to be selling that design to any other person. So that's how it works. How can someone get client as a manual fashion illustrator? It's simple. Just create a CV. Just create your CV, and then you put your best fashion illustration. Like, you take pictures. You make sure you're taking clear pictures, because this is manual. So you have to make sure that the sketches are very visible, and you make the colors pop. So you create your CV, write out everything that you're good at, and then add your best works in the CV as well. And the last question is, do you take credit for your design? No, not really. In fact, no, actually, no. Like, once I'm paid for a design, I just look away. That's just it. I look away from that design. I don't sell it to somebody else. I don't pitch it to somebody else. Once that design has been sold, it has been sold. That is what sets you apart. So you're not like scamming anybody or frauding anybody in a way. So these are the last few questions. Said, congratulations. I was happy to see you have a YouTube channel. I just want to ask for your advice for Instagram though, regarding posting your work and your works and design. Seems to be very hard to grow on there. So what tips would you like give, like time to post? Guys, I don't know anything about Instagram. I've been on Instagram since 2016 and I'm not even at 10k. I'm the wrong person to be asking, because I don't know anything about like growth on TikTok, on Instagram. I kind of already gave up on growing my Instagram, but this year I'm going to try my best to like revamp. I think it's just what everybody says, just post consistently. Right time to post, honestly, I do not know. I post whenever I feel like it. Like, I would say maybe post around evening time or early in the morning. I think a lot of celebrities actually post early in the morning. I noticed that thing recently. So the next question is, I would like you to include how one can get a freelance job. Number one, have an online presence. You can choose whichever platform you like. Just grow on that platform and let people know this is exactly what you're doing. That means you're going to be posting a lot of those sketches. Like, you're going to be posting back to back, so that people can actively know that this person is online and always available. Another thing is that you can reach out to clients. You can reach out to brands that are looking for fashion illustrators. Not everybody wants in-house fashion illustrator, although majority wants in-house fashion illustrator. But you as a freelancer can let them know that you work freelance, and you tell them a price. You tell them your price, and maybe that would actually work for them. You can also try out other freelance platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, yeah, all those ones, but I don't really recommend them. I'm sorry, they work, but I don't really recommend them. My question is, how do you learn fashion illustration with an Android or iPhone? Do you have a plug for digital and traditional illustration tools? Well, I think I already answered this already, like when I was talking about how to get started. You can use your smartphone. All you just need to do is to get a pen. Let me repeat myself. Yeah, I think that is all the questions that we have, guys. We made it. I know this video is gonna be a little bit long, but I'm glad you guys watched up until the end. And happy new year. I hope you guys had a lovely holiday. Me, I'm kind of on a break. I'm not taking jobs for now. For the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be resuming officially for work January 13, and my class is going to be starting January 20. So if you want to learn fashion illustration, you can reach out to me. I'm going to be leaving my Instagram link, so you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm going to be leaving my WhatsApp link as well, so you can send me a direct message. If you just don't want to go through Instagram, you can send me a direct message on WhatsApp, and I'll be there to hold your hands and teach you how to be a fashion illustrator and how to make money in 2025 from a fashion illustration business. So that is it, guys. I hope you're able to learn a lot from this question and answers. I'm going to leave a disclaimer and let you know that this was not achieved overnight. I've been doing this work for 7 years now, professionally for 5 years, but I've been doing it for 7 years. And yeah, it is not as easy as it sounds or as it looks. You're gonna get a lot of no's, and that's totally fine. What matters is that you do not give up. You keep upgrading your skills, because at the end of the day, it is your skills that will turn into money for you. 2 years ago, I would never have thought that I would be making this much from fashion illustration, but because I kept doing it, even when I was done with school and I was wondering what I wanted to do or maybe get a job, I was like, this has to work, and this is what I wanted to do. I'm so happy now that the business is doing well, and I'm constantly bringing in at least 7 figures monthly. And I don't know, like, that might not be a lot to some people, but to me it is a lot. It is a lot. To have the ability to be able to take care of myself and my family is just something that I'm super grateful for, and I hope the best for you guys as well. I hope you get to that stage and even surpass that as well. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.